Strata doesn't have to be a headache. Brought to you by Lee de Castro, the founder of Redstone Lane Strata Management Services, this is Strata Assist. If you own property in WA, this podcast is for you. We'll break down the myths, simplify the rules, and help you navigate strata without the frustration. Because the more you understand it, the less you'll hate it. And that's what we're here to achieve. Let's get started.
Welcome. If you own in a strata property, you should be paying a levy. This isn't just an extra cost to you. Your levy is paying for more than you might think. Let's break it down line by line. Today, we're going to have a look at exactly what is a strata levy. So this is that cost that you're usually invoiced on a quarterly basis, and knowing why you're paying that and what does it cover is really important. This is for the total cost of running the property. It's not paying just a strata management company. Let me back up a little. If you own in a strata property, you don't just own the property, you also own a company. You are part owners with the other owners in that strata complex of a strata company. The strata manager and the strata management company, they're totally separate. They're the agents that are helping you run your company. So a lot like a property manager, they will collect the rent and help look after the property, but they're paid a management fee, totally separate to how much the rent is worth and what you're paying in rent. That is mind-blowing for some people. It never gets explained. So I hope that in itself is helpful to you. So any of the levies you pay goes into your own company's bank account, and that covers all of the costs of running your property and running your company. Where to look at this and where to find this information about your personal company, go find last year's AGM, your annual general meeting agenda. Not the minutes. The minutes are brief. The agenda is a giant pack. Once a year, you get this huge document and it's full of lots of information that nobody reads. Go read it. In there, you'll find a budget page, and that sets out a lot line by line detail of where the money is going. And also you'll get your account summary. That shows you how much money is in your bank account and how much money you're spending per year to keep your company going. The owner portals, if you've got one, that's really helpful. You should be able to find a lot of information and reports on there that will also give you this information. When you have a look at your budget page, you'll typically find some of these items in there. There'll be other things as well, but the insurance you'll see, so that's covering your building insurance and your public liability. You'll see gardening or cleaning. You'll see maintenance, whether it's just one general common property maintenance line or if it's broken down into plumbing, electrical, pool maintenance, and all of those different bits and pieces. Then you'll see your utilities. So there'll usually be an electricity account, there might be a phone account, and you'll see your strata management fee. And sometimes that can be broken up into a few different types of, that's what you pay your strata manager. And then the other bits are the other running costs of running this property and this company. Now, one question that I get all the time is, Joe blogs down the road, or I've been looking on realestate.com at what my neighbours are getting charged in strata levies, and it is way different to what my strata levies are. That's great. I'm glad you're doing some research and some homework and you're seeing what strata levies look like. Comparing apples for apples, you really need to know what that other property is that you're comparing to. What utilities are they paying for? What amenities do they have? Do they have a pool? Do they have security gates or cameras? How much are they paying in their garden and for water and things like that? Then there's also the boundaries. Who's looking after the roof? Who's looking after the courtyards and the fencing and the windows and the maintenance and things like that? Is your lot internal space or external space? Makes a huge difference to your levies and to the amount of work for the common property, depending on who owns what. So that's a huge difference. And then, of course, the condition of your building. Are you paying for an old rundown house that needs to have a huge amount of maintenance and a roof replaced and windows replaced? Have you got a super simple set and forget brick and tin roof that doesn't need much maintenance and everything's looked after? They're going to make a difference on your strata levies year by year. So some years might be more than others. How healthy is the savings account? Do you have lots of funds in there so that when something big happens, a plumbing disaster, you've got the funds there, you don't need to raise any extra levies? Or are you running so lean that I can't afford to call a plumber out when everything's blocked up and we're in a massive pile of trouble? That's a really brief idea on what is your strata levy, what does it cover. I'm going to go through in some more episodes coming up about some of those line items and some of the questions around them that we're commonly seen, and also focusing more on those strata management fees as well, because that's a big one that obviously everybody is starting to look at now that cost of living is taking a bit of a pinch, and we're looking to see where we can cut on that budget. So hopefully I can be helpful.
Thanks for spending time with us to learn more about Strata. If you've got any more burning questions or want to chat about how we can help with your Strata property needs, we'd love to hear from you. Reach out at redstonelane.au. Strata services that are different.